Right. So is the future of entertainment about to get like a serious upgrade? We're talking about the creator economy, right? But not just on your phone. Think like live competitive sports. That's what's got my attention with this Allied Venture Partners' latest investment. They put some money into a company called League of Play, or LOP for short, and we're going to do a deep dive on this one. You are not going to want to miss this. We're going through Allied Venture Partners' memo on this investment, and trust me, it reads like a crystal ball for where this whole industry is headed. So get ready to see things a little differently. Let's kick things off by looking at the bigger picture here. Remember like how the pandemic basically hit the fast forward button on the creator economy? Suddenly, everybody and their dog was glued to a screen, turning these online creators into megastars.
But, and here's the thing, at the same time all this was happening, younger generations were already turning away from the way we used to watch sports. Like your parents watching ESPN on cable. Allied Venture Partners really hits on this contrast in their memo.
Yeah, what I think is so fascinating here is how this difference that you're talking about is shaking things up for businesses. I mean, it's not just a generational quirk, right? It's like a fundamental shift in how Gen Z and millennials consume, well, everything, but content specifically. And companies are scrambling to adapt. Traditional advertising, it's losing its bite. It's just not as effective anymore. Younger generations, they're flocking to ad-free platforms and content. That direct-to-consumer, or D2C, model, that's no longer like a bonus. It's becoming absolutely essential. And this is where I think League of Play steps onto the playing field.
Oh, and get this. Allied Venture Partners calls this a contrarian investment. Not just another app, but something radically different. Really makes you wonder what they're seeing that others aren't.
So how does League of Play actually bridge this gap? Their first event, like, is the perfect example. Okay, so picture this. Extreme Ping Pong.
Yeah, extreme ping pong. This is awesome.
You heard that right. Extreme Ping Pong. They brought in these, like, top online creators, people with massive followings, right? And they pitted them against, get this, Olympic-level table tennis athletes. Talk about a recipe for viral content. What I think is so brilliant here is how League of Play, they tap into the power of personality, right? Remember how we were talking about younger audiences and how they really connect with individual creators and athletes over like these big established brands? Well, this is exactly what they're craving, you know, authentic competition, real personalities, and a story that they can actually buy into.
Yeah, and they didn't just stop at ping pong either. They streamed the whole thing live, obviously. But get this, they had all these like interactive elements built in. Fans could vote on challenges for the players. They could ask the players questions in real time. And, oh, they could even buy merch directly through the stream.
This is where we're really seeing that D2C future in action. League of Play understands that for younger audiences, it's not enough to just watch passively anymore.
Right.
They want to be like part of the action, have a voice, you know, and express their fandom in like tangible ways.
And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. Over 1 million viewers tuned in for that first extreme ping pong event. 1 million.
That's wild.
Yeah, the engagement was off the charts. Think like thousands of comments, questions, votes, all pouring in every minute. And the revenue, let's just say they weren't just playing for fun. They pulled in serious cash through merchandise sales, sponsorships, you name it.
This is what makes League of Play so compelling for investors, right? Like Allied Venture Partners, they've cracked the code on engaging this like elusive younger demographic.
It's like they've taken the best of, like gaming, esports, and traditional sports, right?
Yeah.
And blended it all into this entirely new form of entertainment.
Exactly. And if we can connect this back to the bigger picture here,
Yeah.
you know, we see echoes of like what happened with Formula One racing. Remember how that, what was it called? Drive to Survive
Yeah.
on Netflix. It brought in a whole new generation of fans to Formula One racing, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
League of Play is applying that same principle, you know, that storytelling, the behind the scenes access, but they're doing it live and with a level of interactivity that takes like engagement to a whole new level.
Yeah, this all sounds amazing and everything, right? But Allied Venture Partners' investment thesis, it goes even deeper than this, right? They lay out these 4 key trends in their memo that really got me thinking. So trend number 1 is all about loyalty, or, well, the lack of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Allied Venture Partners points out that younger fans, we're not as tied to big brands or even entire teams like our parents were. You know?
Yeah, it's true. Like this generation, they grew up with the internet, right? They could follow individual athletes, individual creators directly. It's that personal connection that really matters to them. They want those behind the scenes glimpses. Think about athletes like, I don't know, LeBron James, right? Building their own media empires.
Yeah.
Soccer players launching their own clothing lines. It's about that direct relationship.
That totally tracks with what we were just saying about League of Play, right? They're putting the spotlight on the individual personalities, not just team logos. All right, so trend number 2, what is it?
Trend number 2 is, well, it's the continued explosion of the creator economy, right? This is, I mean, it's huge and it's only getting bigger. What I think is really interesting, though, is how this whole thing is shifting toward this direct-to-consumer model. Creators are realizing that they don't need to rely solely on ad revenue or brand deals anymore. They can build those direct relationships with their fans and monetize in new and innovative ways.
Yeah. And League of Play is like a perfect example of that, right? Merch sales, those live interactions, even like NFTs down the line.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, 2 trends down, 2 to go. Hit me. Trend number 3 really stood out to me. Athletes are, they're becoming creators in their own right. It's like those lines are blurring more and more every day.
Absolutely. I mean, look at someone like Serena Williams, right? Yes, she's a tennis legend, but she's also like a successful businesswoman. She's a fashion icon, a powerful voice advocating for social change. She's connecting with her audience on all these different levels, and that's incredibly powerful. And League of Play gets that. They understand this shift. They're not just giving these athletes a platform to compete, but they're empowering them to build their own brands, to connect with their fans in a deeper way.
So it's not just about what happens on the court or the field anymore. It's about this whole ecosystem they're building around themselves. Okay, so we've got this like personality-driven fandom. We've got the creator economy, which is it's booming. We've got athletes building their own brands. What's the 4th trend that Allied Venture Partners sees driving all of this? All right, trend number 4. The rise of these creator competitions. I have to admit, like when I first saw Logan Paul step into the ring with Floyd Mayweather, I thought it was a joke. But that fight was massive, and it speaks to this whole new world of entertainment.
Yeah, don't underestimate the power of spectacle. These creator clashes, whether it's boxing, gaming, even something like chess, they capture the imagination, right? It's about the drama, it's about the personality, it's about those like anything can happen moments. It's unscripted, it's unpredictable. And for a generation raised on the internet, it feels authentic in a way that traditional sports sometimes, struggles to replicate.
Plus, you've got that built-in audience already, right? Millions of people are already like invested in these creators, their lives, their stories.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what League of Play understands. They're not, creating these rivalries from scratch. They're tapping into existing fandoms and they're giving them this whole new way to engage.
So we've got these 4 powerful trends that are all kind of like converging.
Yeah.
Shifting fan loyalties. The creator economy is, it's booming. Athletes are evolving into brands. And we've got these massive creator competitions that are like capturing everyone's attention. It's like Allied Venture Partners is saying, forget what you thought you knew about sports and entertainment. This is the future, and it's happening now.
And what's like so compelling about League of Play is that they sit at the intersection of all of this. They're not just riding the wave, they're shaping it.
This whole deep dive has got me thinking. Whether you're into sports, business, tech, or just, fascinated by how we consume entertainment, this stuff matters. These trends are like ripples spreading out. They're changing the game for everybody. So if Allied Venture Partners is right and League of Play is onto something big here, who knows what the world of sports and entertainment will look like in 5 or 10 years? What do you think? Are you ready to jump into a world of extreme ping pong and creator-led leagues? Hit us up on social media and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Until next time.